Hi, I'm Jenkins, and welcome to week 30 of Reflections here. Weeks 30, 30 weeks. Wow. I can't believe I've made 29 videos leading up to this point. That's pretty crazy. I can't believe I'm still doing this, to be honest. And I can't believe I'm still doing this challenge either. I can tell you that I have done no compromise now for 2 weeks in a row. How about that? In other news, I also went to a Friday Night Magic for um, for competing at my local game store. Didn't do too well this week, but I still had a lot of fun. I was able to meet a lot of people and socialize a little bit, and people seem to respect me. I'm always asking questions and eager to learn about the game and get better every single week. And I think people saw that and they are very receptive to my questions and whatnot. Also, yeah, I know everybody by name too at the at the game store too, so it's kind of cool. It's a nice little community, and yeah, with the challenge, I still am in it. This is day 14, and I am now done with all my tasks for today. It was quite difficult as always. Beginning of this week, as the days went on, kind of like towards day up till day 10 or 11 or so, it seemed like it took more effort for me to do everything every day. And but then the last few days it's kind of becoming easier. Like I'm just kind of getting used to it at this point, and I feel a lot better. I feel like I got more pep in my step, and I like my, I guess, aches and pains are just kind of becoming, kind of a background thing. So it's really has gotten better, I think, in the last few days here. So that's good news, right? Let's get to the spreadsheet. Right. So we have kind of the same thing as last week, really. I decided to just, what would you call it? Over exceed, exceed my 5 minute minimums here in every single category. I just felt like it really. And, it takes me almost, it takes me almost 30 minutes to read 10 pages usually anyway. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But I wasn't able to read as much. It's pretty much the same numbers as last week, I believe, but I wasn't able to read quite as much at work. So there's that. But yeah, it looks pretty good here. I did run into some problems um, with the week, so which is the reason why I'm going to give it the rating I give it. Um, I'm going to give myself a 9 this week. Now, if you remember last week, I gave myself a 10 out of 10, and that was because I, I was really pretty occupied the entire week basically, and there wasn't really too much time for messing around. But this week is a little bit of a different story. Um, I had time yesterday and today for that matter. Not as much today, really, to be honest, but Saturday, I spent a lot of time looking at my magic cards again. Y'all know that's been my drug of choice as of late. And, just because I didn't employ any strategy of moderation whatsoever, I feel like I didn't put all the effort I could have put into this week there. I left some on the table this week. I mean, I know these numbers look decent, but there is just the way I handled my moderation virtue just wasn't quite up to par. But as you can see, I got 1,400 minutes last week of productivity, 1,300 this week, just a little bit less. And in the point shop here, I leveled up from 40 to 41 music production, and I'm starting to stack up the points here because I haven't had an alcoholic drink in over 2 weeks now. Not using any extra screen time. I could still do that, I guess, but for screen time, I could still spend points on that, but it's going to be very difficult. And plus, Magic's kind of taking up all my spare time anyway. And I guess the point is to save up enough of a balance to cover my like week long vacation in September. So I guess that's what I'll be doing. So let's talk about some of the problems and issues I had coming up this week. I mentioned it already. Magic the Gathering. I had no rules in place whatsoever to limit my fun I was having with it. I mean, when I'm just in my apartment alone, it's a different story than going to an event where there's other people and I'm socializing and I'm learning. But when I'm just at my apartment, when I have other things I could and should be doing, like music production, putting more time to that, and also my upkeep tasks I'm always complaining about, like laundry and dishes and stuff. I did attack a few of those today, but there's always more to do around here, and it sucks. I just want to say that. I really don't like doing those kinds of things, but it's kind of just something we all have to put up with in life. So I might as well make time for it. There's no getting away from them. I can put off doing laundry until I have no clean shirts, but then I'm just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to do multiple loads of laundry at the same time. You don't get away from that kind of stuff. So what I'm trying to say, and if you let things off for a longer amount of time, more often than not, it's gonna come back to get you. It's gonna be worse when you actually get around to doing them. Um, so I guess the next thing I want to talk about is my my productivity here. I know my numbers on the table, the spreadsheet. They're looking pretty good, but this is more of a personal thing, I guess. It's like I still have this like inner voice in my head that it's kind of like a subconscious thoughts. They're hard to get rid of, and it's still telling me. It still says that I'm not doing enough. And it's like you know whether it's right or wrong. I think part of it's actually true though, because I can absolutely do better than this, but I feel like this is a damn good starting point, and I'm still quite early on in the challenge. Still, there's no time to get cocky here. Just got to keep my head down and keep working hard, and there will be time to polish up on these other areas. Like improving my time management to greater levels and whatnot. I think that will come in due time, and this is just such a good start. I don't want to ruin what I have going here, but it's just those thoughts are still there, and they have not been silenced as of yet. Um, and I guess another problem that came up in my apartment. I've been dealing with some ants getting in through the window seal, and they are really pissing me off. It's just like I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 a day, but I could start an ant farm if I wanted to, and they're just getting really annoying. So just another thing on my plate that I have to deal with every day. But I think what I have to do is get some sealant like silicone or something and put it around the window frame, so they can't sneak in. I'm pretty sure that's where they're coming from. So so I got a little pest issue. It's what happens when you pay as cheap as I do for an apartment, but it's worth it. And last but not least, what comes next? I would like to say that this challenge, I'm actually starting to enjoy it in a weird way. It really keeps every day interesting, and I think about it. There's these like reasons why I'm doing this, and I have to remind myself every day. I keep forgetting. I have a bad memory sometimes when it comes to these things. Like I know the headspace, I know the mentality that I need to tap into to get my day done the right way. And sometimes I lose. There's some days where I kind of lose sight of that. It kind of leaves me temporarily, and it becomes very hard to to get that initiative to work on my tasks that I have to do. But then after you know after kind of um, how do I say it? Reminding myself, after jogging it through my head a few times, like my reasons why and everything, it starts to become easier, and I remind myself successfully. So with every day, I think I'm getting better at doing that, and it's starting to stick a little bit better. But bottom line is, I signed up for this. I decided what I wanted my life to look like, and this is it. This is what I wanted. You know, Obviously, I'm not going to be doing this 50-day challenge for the every day for the rest of my life, but it's a model that I can form, change up a little bit, and just make something like this like a lifestyle. I think that's the final goal, is to make something similar to this into something that's sustainable long term, so I can just continually improve and just grind shit out and get stuff done. It's not been easy, but I've never felt more accomplished every time I go to sleep. Like every I just every time when I'm in down times, even like right now, I feel more relaxed. I find it's easier to converse with people. It's like I'm almost like proud of myself, you know, every day. Like like when I'm done with my tasks, it feels great. I'm like, damn, another day. Like I'm getting shit done. It feels good. But last but not least, I don't want to have any dips in quality of productive minutes. So I want y'all to know that right now my workout doesn't start until I'm moving. Like when I'm putting on my shoes or putting on my hand wraps at the gym, that doesn't count. It starts when I start. So I'm not taking any shortcuts. You know, this is what I signed up for. This is the real deal. I want to keep it real. Like I want to keep this a real challenge and not bullshit my way through it. Like that's the whole point of the challenge is to honor the code and do everything that's required with zero compromise. And that is exactly what I plan to do in the next coming weeks. I bid you all a great day and a fantastic week ahead, and I will see you in the next week's video. No compromise. Let's go.